Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 of JoJomas, where we will be moving on from Phantom Blood to Battle Tendency and talking about the main villain of part 2, Cars. So before I jump straight into my favorite and least favorite moment from this beautiful Pillar Man here, Cars, I just want to talk a little bit about him because lately I've had a new appreciation for Cars. Most of the time if you ask people who is your least favorite main villain in JoJo, it'll be a flip between either Cars or Dio. Most of the time, Cars is on the bottom of the list, and for the longest time, Cars was at the bottom of my least favorite villain in JoJo list. But lately, he's been climbing the ranks. I don't think he'll ever get up there to the sort of legendary status of Funny Valentine and Yoshikage Kira, but I still really like Cars, and I think he is well done, and more so well done than, say, Part 3 Dio, who, if you guys don't know, is my least favorite villain in JoJo, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. So, Cars does a lot of great things for the series, although Battle Tendency and just the story was essentially filler, Araki has said in the sort of battle between the Joestars and the Brandos. But the thing that Cars did for the series was really amazing, and for the very little world building we get in JoJo, Cars provided a lot of that with his flashback, you know, answering questions like, what happened to all the Hamon users? Why are there no Hamon users around anymore? And as well as an origin to the Stone Mask, and just like the world in general and how things used to be. So that was really interesting about Cars, is that's really uncommon in JoJo for us to learn more about why things are the way they are. I mean, one of the only explanations we got for stand abilities in the original universe was a meteorite, and it was like, that's it. That was forged into arrows long time ago. But Cars did a lot of great things for the series, and I can really appreciate him for that. And I've been liking this dude a lot more recently. I don't know if it's because of his beautiful face or for his writing. Anyways, moving on to my favorite and least favorite moment from Cars. So, starting with my favorite moment from Cars, it's kind of hard to pinpoint one specific instance because we see so little of him throughout a majority of part 2. He's more so like that late Phantom Blood Dio type, where we only really see him sitting in chairs and demanding things and ordering other people to do his bidding, because he does see himself, because he really is such a high level, and he's just a god amongst mere mortals on this earth, and he just views everyone else as insects, and he finds things like making bets with Joseph just so insignificant. I remember when Wamu and AC/DC confronted Joseph, and Joseph was like, I'll make a bet with you, give me 1 month and I'll be able to defeat you guys. And they're like, that's fucking rich. And they were like, alright man, let me put a ring in your esophagus, I'll throw a ring in your heart, and 1 month, if you don't beat us, we will give you a painful death. And they were like, hey Cars, you want in on this, man? You want to just have some fun? And Cars was like, what are you guys doing? Like, why are you just playing games with like just an insect? And that's what Cars viewed all the humans as. So back onto the point that I'm trying to make here. Because Cars viewed himself as, you know, he is the apex predator and such a superior being, he didn't want to waste his time with trivial things like Joseph and other human distractions while he was trying to achieve his goal of finding the Stone of Aja and, you know, continuing to become the ultimate life form by creating a new Stone Mask. So for a majority of Battle Tendency, we just saw Cars in the background, and a lot of the interactions and fights took place between Wamu, AC/DC, Santana, and it wasn't until the very end that we saw Cars become the ultimate life form, and before that in his fight with Lisa. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint one exact moment from Cars that's my favorite, so I'm just going to say it's a characteristic of his that we see a couple times until the finale, and it's just sort of his... It's almost fear of the unknown, or almost appreciation for what he isn't. This has been mentioned in a lot of character analysis. The Beauty of Cars Medi made, and also a character analysis by Mr. Donut the Donut. Both great videos. They will be linked down in the description if you guys want more on Cars, like an in-depth character analysis. But you'll see Cars throughout Battle Tendency just sort of appreciating things that he wouldn't normally. So like when he views a human, he would feel no remorse or no sympathy, just, you know, decapitating any random human. But when he sees something like agriculture, like a plant, or like a dog, he wants to protect it because he doesn't know what it is. He can't relate with it. Obviously, he can relate with humans because they're such similar species, just Pillar Man being so much more. Like the scene, I think I have it up here in one of my Battle Tendency mangas. Yeah, here it is right here, when Cars is walking down the street, and Cars is walking down the street, and he sees a car about to run over a dog, and he saves the dog when he would never do that for a human. He pulls out his light blades, and he just completely... These panels are so nice, dude. If you don't own these JoJoniums, I highly recommend picking them up. Some of the colored panels in them are absolutely beautiful. Battle Tendency had some really great art. Like, I mean, just look at this vertical panel of Wamu right there. It's fucking beautiful, dude. So throughout the series, we'll see Cars appreciate these things like animals and plants, and once he becomes the ultimate life form, he wants to know what it's like to be that. So he'll turn his arm into a squirrel, and then he turns the squirrel into a plant. Those are the first things we see, because he wants to know what it's like, and he wants to know, you know, if they're comparable to him. Almost, am I truly better than these things I don't know? And I really like that about Cars, how understanding he is and how intelligent of a, not person, but Pillarman he is. So now on to my least favorite moment from Cars. And it really is one specific moment. It's after he transforms into the ultimate life form, how his entire personality almost completely flips. How he becomes just a cocky, arrogant villain stereotype instead of this meticulous, intelligent character he once was. And I kind of understand he's been working, you know, thousands and thousands of years to achieve this one goal, and he finally becomes the ultimate life form, where he truly is even more of a god than he already was, being able to turn into anything, having the DNA of every single living creature on Earth, being able to understand everything. And I guess that, although it made Cars physically a lot stronger, and even mentally, you know, Cars 400 IQ, but it really fucked with his mindset and made him sort of have the Dio type effect in part 3, where it's like Dio can stop time, but he spends his entire stop time, you know, just going on about how absolute his ability is and how, you know, pathetic everyone is, when it's like, you, instead of doing this, how about you just kill them immediately, okay, so you don't even give them a chance to. So Cars sort of suffers from Dio syndrome in that sense. So Cars transforming into the ultimate life form, I think, really killed his character for me and made him a lot more unlikable. Because he really had some really good things going for him. But yeah, ultimate life form Cars is awesome. He's beautiful. Okay, beautiful Pillarman here. But do you guys understand that? Like, he just became super cocky, and you know, someone he once viewed as an insect that wasn't even worth his time. Like, he didn't even want to kill Joseph because he didn't think the 2 seconds of killing him was even worth his time. And now once he becomes the ultimate life form, where he should think even less of Joseph, he takes his time playing with him, sort of the games that Wamu and AC/DC were doing with the reins in his body. And it's just like, Cars, so easily, if he didn't get wrapped up in his own head, could have just got the job done and not have been bullshitted over by just pure luck by Joseph. Cars just wanted to take his time with him and have some sort of, you know, righteous victory against this man that defeated Santana, Wamu, and AC/DC. So it was sort of more for his vendetta of revenge that ended up bringing him down. But I'm still salty about Cars' loss, dude. He has such bullshit. JoJo should have ended in part 2, and Cars should have just won, and that was it. So yeah, that is definitely my least favorite moment from Cars. After his transformation into the ultimate life form, his stereotypical transformation into an evil villain, going off nothing but arrogance, cockiness, and revenge, when he could have just defeated Joseph so easily. Anyways, there's a lot of great things I like about Cars, though, more so than just his very small characteristics and, you know, fear and appreciation of the unknown that we see. Like, I really like his flashback when it shows that, you know, when he was trying to progress the Pillarmen by developing a new stone mask, how his people were threatened by his intelligence and his persistence to progress the race and conquer the sun, and they were essentially, they were scared of Cars, and they tried to kill him, and Cars said, fuck this, I'm just gonna murder all of you. And he did it, and he saved the children as well, the children Pillarmen that weren't grown up yet, so he would be able to raise them with the same mindset that he was having to progress the race and truly become the ultimate life form. So all of Cars' decisions were really based off of not emotions or anything, but just, you know, what he thought was best. And that's what I really like about Cars. You know, he's a very unhuman character, but once you understand that and view him more as a god trying to do what he thinks is best, it makes him a way better character than being like, oh, I can't sympathize with this guy at all. You know, he has no human motivations or nothing, no human relatable features, and that's the point of it. But anyways, guys, that is JoJomas Day 2 about Cars, the ultimate life form, the villain of part 2, and overall, a really cool guy, and probably my favorite Pillarman. So anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you all in Day 3, where we are going to be shitting on Part 3 Dio. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow.